Hello everyone, Jose Sahagun. We're actually here at our wonderful courthouse, beautiful place here in Madera, California. If you don't know where Madera is at, get here. It's a wonderful place. I'm actually here with Imlin Miles Manley. Imlin, if you want to say hi.
Hi.
So Imlin is a financial advisor. He's helped me out greatly in my career, and we wanted to ask him a couple of questions about himself, about his business, him being an entrepreneur and helping people. So a lot of the things that we do together is we do this to help people, and we want to make sure that we know who Imlin is as well. So one of the things that I think about Imlin is, your logo. It really brings something to me. So your logo, give us a little bit of explanation how you came up with your logo.
Okay. Good question. So when I was thinking about the company, I was thinking Gen Next, and I was thinking generational wealth. The reason why I thought generational wealth is because most of my clients are family members. And so when I have, a parent, and then I have their kids, and then I have their grandchildren, I was thinking, how can I make something or show something that that represents family, and what better thing than a tree? So that's why I have the roots in there, because the roots go deep and the tree should grow up. And the focus was in these families was trying to get wealth from generation to generation. Gen Next wealth. That's how I got it.
So that's wonderful, Emily. So I've worked with other financial planners, and I see that the way you're structuring your business is very family oriented. Just even the tree in your logo, it means something. And getting that generational growth, I know for myself growing up, it wasn't something that we really talked about. My parents, worked and provided, but having that long-term growth, I don't think it's something that we thought about. So you being there to help people, I mean, that resonates with me. I know that for a lot of people, maybe they don't understand, financial planning, or they don't understand, how to build wealth. And then I'm glad that you're there for them. Now, real quick, a couple things that stand out for me is I remember meeting you at Citibank. You worked at Citibank, and then you worked at other places. How was the transition from working at a bank to now being an entrepreneur and having your own business? How did that work out for you?
So the transition kind of happened naturally. So I was at the bank. I'd always been in financial services. I did that for a while. From there, I always wanted to be a financial advisor, and I moved and went to principal. So when I started working at principal, I got into more detailed financial planning stuff with the clients. And at the end of that, I was thinking, there's still stuff that I'm not doing for them. People would come in and they'd have like their company work benefits, and they would have questions about that, or they'd have questions about their 401k and how to invest it, or they have questions about, fixing their credit, or just multiple things that had to deal with finances. And I knew that working where I was at, I wasn't going to be able to service all of the needs that the people had. So there we go, Gen Next Wealth, and it kind of gave birth in my mind, and from there, it took off.
So that's awesome. So you were working at this bank, very structured. You seen the need that you couldn't fulfill, so you started thinking, how can I help these people? And you became a financial planner. Now, what I would say is, even at me as a little kid, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I think entrepreneurship is the cornerstone of the United States. That's how we built out this great country. What has been the hardest thing for you as an entrepreneur?
Okay, so if I'm thinking about that, that's a very good question, because my wife and I wrestled with this for a long time before we actually made the decision, right? It was like, stick your toe in the water and see how it's going to feel. But the hardest thing was just making the decision to do it. It was something that I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to own my own business. I didn't know what I wanted to own, but I knew I wanted to do my own business. So when I looked at it and I knew that there was a need with the people that I was helping already, I said, well, I already have the people that need my help.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be able to help them better. And so that was the, internalizing that, making that decision, going from, a salary to working with people and depending on, my clients to make sure that I'm paid. That was probably the toughest decision. After that decision was made, I think the things that we take for granted sometimes in a corporate structure is like, I have my boss to ask me what I'm supposed to, I got to be at work at a certain time because my boss is going to ask where I'm at, or I need to turn in this report because, whatever reason. So not having that structure was difficult in the beginning. People say, oh, you're an entrepreneur. You get to, you own your own business. You get to come into work when you want. Not really,
right.
And so navigating that. And so what I did was I'm very, very systematic. Like I wake up every day at 4:30 in the morning. First thing I do is I wake up, drink 24 ounces of water, meditate for 15 minutes, write in my journal, read for 30 minutes. Then I go to the gym for an hour every day. I'm not saying that to say that, look at me, I'm doing all this stuff. Right. I did that because that was setting me up for success, those things that I had to do. So I would say to anybody that's thinking about being an entrepreneur, starting your own business, make sure you get the structure of how your day is gonna go without clients and schedule time to work with people. So it's just, that's my advice.
Well, I know that you and I have gone into depth about making sure that your schedule is nice and tight. Your time is very, very important, and time blocking is the cornerstone of our business. So for a new entrepreneur, if anybody out there trying to start their own business, understand that it doesn't come easy. Everything that Emlyn has done has come from hard work and making sure that he's waking up, eating right and getting to the office and taking care of his clients. So we can lean on that experience, Emlyn. I do believe that can help somebody in their career to help them, grow and to be more. So I appreciate you saying that. Now, what I would say, Emlyn, is that along with being an entrepreneur, you still have to be a father. You still have to be a husband. You still have to, take care of your home. How do you balance all that out? How are you making sure that all of that is balanced and people are happy at home and they're happy at work as well? How do you do that?
So what I like to say is, how do I harmonize that?
Okay.
The reason why I say harmony over balance is because some things can get out of balance,
right.
Meaning that you need to allocate a certain amount of time for this, certain amount of time for that. But when everything works in harmony, understanding how these things that you're doing over here affect these things over here, and a little give and take. So it's just about trying to work that in harmony, and that's one of the reasons why I wake up so early. It's before my wife gets up, it's before the kids get up. I can go and get my day started, and just being able to have a little give and take. Some days, because I'm an entrepreneur, I can take the day off and I can watch my son. If he's sick, then I'll, because he's the youngest one, we have an 8-month-old, and if he gets sick, then I will take time off so I can make sure that I watch him. That's how that makes up for the days when I'm working till 6 or 7 o'clock at night, when I can take those days off with the flexibility from my schedule. But you have to earn that right? You don't get that from the beginning. You have to earn that. And I think, coordinating stuff with my family makes it a lot easier to harmonize work, family, and then self-care.
Now, of course, Emlyn, I know where your office is at, and I know how to get a hold of you. We're good friends. We're growing this relationship. But if there's somebody out there right now that needs your service, that needs to sit down with you, how do we get a hold of you? Is there, a website? Should we just call you? I know you're very, very structured about your clients and your time. How do we get a hold of you?
So the best way to get a hold of me is by going to the website. You're going to be able to go to gennexwealth.com. Right there, if you wanted to schedule some time with me, you can click schedule now. It'll give you a list of options. You can schedule anything from having coffee with me to actually doing an onboarding process. And one of the things that I always like to throw in there when it's, not only getting a hold of me, but what it is that I actually do. Because people always ask, what do you do, Emlyn? What is a financial planner? And so what I always say is, I'm a fee-only financial planner. And what fee-only means is that I am not paid by some large corporate company. The way I'm paid directly from my clients. So I work for my clients. Now, what that means to them is, I'm not gonna sell you any products. I don't have any products to sell. I don't sell life insurance. I don't sell annuities. People that do that, great. Those people are, I used to do that. I don't do it anymore, but I make it very much so about what is important to the client. So that's probably the biggest difference between me and most other financial planners, that I'm not getting paid a commission, and I don't represent some larger corporation pushing their agenda on what they want sold.
So that meant something to me, Emlyn. When you told me that, it made me feel that, hey, you know what, I have somebody in my corner that's here to help me, and not some big corporation that they're worried about what they're getting in return from me. So I mean, it's great that you say that. I think that's important for somebody to know, You know, Emlyn, I want to thank you for coming out here today. You know, us working together and helping people, I mean, I think it means something. So I want to thank you guys. Please watch this video, share it with your family and friends, and we're here to help.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Emlyn.
Thank you.